Hi, I'm Courtney and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I built my first house at the age of 25 and hopefully sharing enough tips so that you can try and do it too. The average age of the Australian first home buyer is actually 36, so this is a pretty big goal you've set yourself and I'm going to teach you how I did it. This is a long-term goal and it's going to take a fair few steps and a bit of time as well, but it is definitely worth the effort. So if you're interested in this journey, come along with me today while I share it with you. But before we get stuck into it, I really wanted to thank my subscribers. I am so grateful for you guys hanging around here. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. And if you are new to the family and haven't seen my videos before and want to see more, please head down just below this video and hit that subscribe button. And make sure you ring the notifications bell while you're down there so that you're notified every time I post. Let's go. Alright, let's get into it. The first item on your agenda is to work hard. You need to work as hard as possible to make sure you can earn the most money in the shortest amount of time. Now there are definitely some tips and tricks to how you can do this, and the ones that I did was, personally I started working as early as I could. I had jobs from the age of 16 and I often worked multiple jobs all at the same time. Even while going through university, I always had more than one job. So you need to make sure that you start working at a young age, and otherwise if you're able to work right now, then you need to go out and get yourself a job if you don't have one already. If that job is earning you some good money, but you still have spare time, then use that extra time to get a second job or maybe even a third job as well. I used to do multiple other jobs as side hustles, and this is a great way to increase your income. You also want to make sure that when you're working your jobs, you're really working hard and proving yourself to your manager and your bosses. So when there's an opportunity for a promotion at your workplace, or maybe they're releasing some more shifts, you are the one with the best chance of getting those. Again, both of which will increase your income and your earnings. So that is the first item that you need to make sure you are focused on to get your house in your 20s. Alright, the second item on our agenda today is to save that hard-earned money. You need to be squirreling it away somewhere that you are not going to go in and just dip out of it for no reason. It has got to be a priority in your life to have these savings there, and you might need to make some sacrifices every now and then so that you don't dip into those savings. You need to make sure that you've got separate emergency fund, but this savings account that you are going to be saving for your house needs to be its own separate thing. If you're bad at saving or you have a tendency of dipping into that account, maybe you need to make an account with a different bank that you can't see so you don't go and access it. So make sure you set up a good savings account and make sure you set yourself a budget so that you aren't dipping into that account unnecessarily. Another really important thing to do is minimize your expenses. You're not going to be able to save for a house if you are spending your money on coffee and takeout and all these crazy things consistently. So you need to look at that budget that you've created for yourself and see if there's anything in there that you can eradicate out and delete out so that you can save yourself even more money and make sure that you're getting to that savings goal for your house even faster. Alright, let's get on to the third item. Come with me. Alright, the third item you need on your agenda is to do some serious research. You don't know how much money you need to save if you don't research where you want to live and what kind of house you want to have. If you just want to buy an apartment, you're probably going to need to save less money than if you're looking to buy a big house. So do some serious research. Once you've gathered all the information you need about the house you want, where you want to live, the price of buying houses in that area or building, you then need to set yourself a goal. Now that needs to be a dollar figure that you have said, this is the amount I need to get to be able to buy or build my house. Make sure you write down that dollar figure, and if you want to have a little bit of fun with it as well, maybe you want to create yourself a little thermometer with the goal there and break it down into smaller chunks so that you can know how close you're getting to it as well. So once you have hit that savings goal, the next person you need to go and have a conversation with is a broker. They are going to be able to talk to you about all your options available, and they're going to be able to go out to multiple borrowers to see what's going to suit your needs best. If you just want to talk to your bank, it's like talking to one potential lender, but a broker is in contact with many lenders and can give you a variety of options. In our instance, when we were building this house, we needed a specific construction loan, and not all banks were able to offer that for us, so that narrowed it down pretty quickly. Of the banks that were left, we wanted a really competitive rate, and that was a priority to us. So our broker gave us 2 options of banks that were going to give that to us, and were also able to offer us that construction loan. Now, with one of these banks that we then selected, we went ahead and got our pre-approval sorted. Pre-approval from the bank required a heap of paperwork to be completed, but again, the broker did most of this for us, and there was no fee for the broker as well. So they get paid from the bank directly. Once all that paperwork was filed, we got ourselves pre-approved for a certain dollar amount, and that was the money we then knew we were able to spend on our house and our land combined total. Or if you're searching for just a house on its own, you then know that's how much you have to spend on the house. This is a figure you need to keep in your mind when you're shopping around to make sure that you are not going to be spending more than what the bank is able to lend you. I would also recommend not shopping right at the top level of that borrowing amount. I would try and keep yourself a little bit of a buffer in between what they're able to lend you and then what you actually spend, so that you've got a little bit of a safety net there as well. So you might be asking yourself, what do I do if the number I got back from the broker is not enough for the house? Now, there are a few options you have here, and the one that I personally did was to get a guarantor. We weren't able to save up the 20% deposit in the time that we wanted, and we found a piece of land that we knew was going to be a great investment. We were very close to having the figure that we needed saved up, but just to make sure we didn't have to pay for LMI, lender's mortgage insurance, my parents were kind enough to go guarantors on the loan for me and my partner. The other benefit I had in my favor was that it was not just my finances being put forward to the broker, but it was also the finances of my fiance, Ryan. So with our 2 combined incomes and my parents going guarantor, we were able to borrow the amount we needed to get the house that we were really looking for. If you're stuck and you aren't able to borrow the money you need right now, there are certainly a few options for you to explore. I would definitely recommend trying to save up as much as you can before trying to borrow. If you can save yourself that 20% deposit, it will definitely help you in the long run. Otherwise, if you can get yourself a guarantor, it definitely helped us in our situation too, as well as combining my finances with someone else's because we had the 2 incomes. If you don't have a partner, maybe think outside the box if there's someone else that would want to combine finances with you too. If you have a family member or a really close friend and you're potentially happy to go ahead and buy a house together and share, being creative and thinking outside of the box might definitely help you in this situation. If you are stuck and can't quite borrow the amount of money you wanted for that home, and you don't want to explore any of the options I just mentioned, a really good thing to do is put yourself in a different mindset. You might want to think of this home as a stepping stone rather than a forever home, and maybe not borrow as much money as you initially thought you needed. If you maybe reduce the amount that you're spending, maybe move a little bit further out of the city into a quieter suburb that's a bit cheaper, and buy yourself a smaller property that you can pay off faster, and then you use that as a stepping stone to move on to the next one. And maybe the house that you really want might be your 2nd or your 3rd home rather than the 1st, but that first one will get you set up for the next home to be even better. The last thing I want to share with you is to not let fear hold you back. As long as you're taking a calculated risk, then I think buying a property is a great idea. And if you're going to be able to do it in your 20s with a few lifestyle changes and some hard work and savings, then that is going to put you ahead of the rest. The average Australian first home buyer is 36 years of age. So if you are able to get it done in your 20s, then congratulations. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and while you're down there, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below and I'll be sure to answer them all. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.